Welcome D&D players far and wide, thank you for stopping by. Today we're going to learn everything you need to know about cover in D&D 5e. What is cover? Well, cover is an obstacle that makes a creature harder to hit in combat. This could be a tree, a wall, or perhaps the body of a dead giant. Be creative, nearly anything can be cover. In 5th edition, there are 3 degrees of cover: half cover, 3/4 cover, and full cover. Half cover is an obstacle that covers, wait for it, half a creature's body. Things like furniture or a small tree are good examples of half cover. If a creature has half cover, it gains a +2 to its armor class and all dexterity saving throws. Next is 3/4 cover, which, like half cover, is an obstacle that covers 75% of a creature's body. A great example of 3/4 cover is an arrow slit. Only a tiny fraction of a creature can be seen as it peeks out behind cover. 3/4 cover grants a +5 to armor class and dexterity saving throws, making it extremely powerful in combat. Finally, there is full cover. Needless to say, it's when an obstacle covers all of a creature. If a creature has full cover, it cannot be targeted by attacks. However, there are a few spells and items that can go around cover. Fireball and Sleep being great examples of spells that can bypass full cover. If you're a spellcaster, it's always good to keep one spell that can get around full cover prepared. Now, before ending this video, I'd like to provide a quick encounter that makes use of all types of cover. This encounter can be placed in just about any dungeon or stronghold. The party encounters a long hallway with a barricade at the end. 2 goblins are behind the barricade, gaining half cover. As the party advances down the hallway, to their right, arrow slits open, revealing goblins on the other side of the wall. These arrow slits provide 3/4 cover to the goblins. The goblins can lean out of the arrow slits, fire, and then duck back in to receive their cover bonus. Finally, at the end of the hallway, around the corner from the barricade, is a bugbear. Its goal is to surprise a creature as it climbs over the barricade, hoping to clear out the goblins. The bugbear should be at full strength, since it has full cover until revealed by climbing over the barricade. This should be the position you hope to get your party in. One has darted forward trying to get out of the hallway, only to encounter the bugbear. One is stuck in the hallway absorbing the attacks from the goblins, and a spellcaster hopefully should be in back, somewhat neutralized due to the close quarters fighting. I'd say this encounter is good for a level 3 to 4 party on average. A smart level 2 party might be able to handle this, but it could turn deadly quickly. But what if your party is super smart, or over leveled for this encounter? Let me give you some things to make this encounter more difficult. First, if your party is above 4th level, you can replace the goblins with drow for levels 5 to 8, or archers for levels 9 to 16. The archer stat block can be found in Volo's Guide to Monsters, and is super effective at fighting parties without tanks or ranged combatants. For parties above 16th level, use flame skulls instead of goblins. 6 flame skulls will shred even the most powerful parties with their fireballs. If you don't want to change enemy types, there are some ways to make the environment more deadly as well. First, every 10 feet in the hallway, there is a tripwire trap. The tripwire is 3 inches off the ground and stretches between 2 support beams. The DC to spot the tripwire is 14. A successful DC 15 dexterity check using Thieves' Tools disables the tripwire harmlessly. A character without Thieves' Tools can attempt this check with disadvantage using any edged weapon or edged tool. On a failed check, the trap triggers. What this trap does is up to you. However, I like this trap to do 1d8 piercing damage and inflict the poison condition for 1 minute. Second, the arrow slits can be closable, meaning that when an enemy pops out, they close the arrow slit when they go back inside. This stops counterattacks or forces characters to hold their actions so that they can actually try to hit these enemies. Third, the bugbear has a lever that they can pull. When pulled, a wooden wall falls midway down the hallway. A creature under the wall when it falls must make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw, or take 2d10 bludgeoning damage on a failed save. This wall has 25 hit points. Its goal is to cut the party into 2 groups or to slow progress down the hallway. As soon as this wall goes down, the difficulty of the encounter ramps way up, so be careful. Fourth, and finally, after your enemies shoot, have them go prone. In D&D 5th edition, when a creature is prone and they are attacked from more than 5 feet away, That attack is made at disadvantage. However, since the goblins are behind cover, going prone will give them full cover from ranged attacks. This will once again make your enemies harder to hit and allow the battle to continue longer and result in more damage done. I personally like to throw this encounter before a boss room in a dungeon, just to make sure my parties aren't facing a boss at full strength. It whittles down their HP, their spell slots, and their abilities, making for a more intense boss battle. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. Please tell me in the comments, what do you think? Would you run this encounter? Do you have any ideas about what my next video should be? I want to hear your thoughts. If you want more content like this, maybe subscribe. I'm a small channel and I do want to grow. And also, thank you for entering the dungeon.